A 78-year-old monk at Manpukuji Temple in Kyoto gets up from the floor. No hands, no hesitation. He does this 40 times a day. He's been doing it for decades. In the United States, over 53 million adults live with diagnosed arthritis. The average cost per year? More than $5,000 in treatments, supplements, and pain management. Most people over 70 struggle to get up from a chair, let alone the floor. What does this monk know? Researchers spent years studying the Obaku Buddhist community in Japan. They measured inflammation markers, joint mobility, pain levels. The results were startling. Monks in their 70s and 80s showed inflammatory markers 40% lower than Western adults of the same age. No expensive supplements, no physical therapy, no miracle drugs. The difference? 3 foods. The same 3 foods these monks have eaten at every meal since 1654. Here's what you're about to discover. In the next 15 minutes, you'll see these 3 foods and exactly how they work. The first one contains a compound that researchers found reduces joint pain by 37% in 12 weeks. The second was literally invented by these monks and exists nowhere else in the world. The third delivers complete protein while protecting your cartilage. And around minute 8, you'll discover why Western doctors only recently understood what these monks knew for 370 years. By minute 11, you'll see the one ingredient that changes everything about how your body handles inflammation. And by minute 14, you'll have the complete system that's kept these monks moving freely well into their 90s. Let's start with what's happening in your joints right now. Every morning at Manpukuji Temple in Uji, just 20 minutes from Kyoto Station, the monks prepare the same meal their predecessors made in 1654. The steam rises from wooden bowls. The kitchen smells like the ocean. This isn't trendy. This isn't new. This is Fucha Ryori, the cooking style brought to Japan by Chinese monk Injin Ryuki when the Ming dynasty fell. The Japanese called it exotic, strange, too different. But something remarkable happened. The monks who ate this way aged differently. They moved differently. Their joints stayed flexible decades longer than anyone expected. Western researchers finally started paying attention in the early 2000s. They wanted to know why Asian communities maintaining traditional diets showed arthritis rates of 11.3%, while non-Hispanic white Americans showed rates of 20.7%. Almost half the rate. The answer was in the food, specifically 3 foods. Let me show you the first one, and why it matters to your knees right now. The first food is kombu. You know it as kelp, dried seaweed. In Japanese, they call it kombu. The monks don't eat it directly. They make it into dashi, a broth that forms the liquid foundation of every meal. Here's what makes this critical for your joints. Kombu contains something called fucoidan. It's a compound found in brown seaweed. When Japanese researchers isolated it and tested it on people with knee pain, they found something remarkable. A 2022 study in the journal Phytomedicine followed 120 adults with mild knee pain. After 12 weeks taking 1,000 milligrams of fucoidan daily, participants reported a 37% reduction in pain and stiffness. Blood tests showed lower levels of C-reactive protein, a key inflammation marker. Think about that. Not a little improvement, a 37% reduction in 3 months. But here's what the monks understand that we're only now discovering. They don't take fucoidan as a supplement. They consume it in food form, several times a day, in warm broth. The body absorbs it differently. The effect compounds over time. The Western approach says, take a pill, get quick relief, repeat forever. The Obaku approach says, change what you eat, reduce the inflammation at its source, maintain it naturally. Your joints hurt because of chronic inflammation. The inflammatory process breaks down cartilage faster than your body can rebuild it. Fucoidan works by regulating the cytokines that drive this inflammation. It turns down IL-6, IL-1 beta, and TNF-alpha. These are the molecular switches that keep inflammation running. Let me show you how to start using this today. This is Tier 1, the foundation. This is designed for anyone, even if you've never used kombu before, even if you have digestive sensitivities. Go to any Asian grocery store or order online. Ask for dried kombu. You want the flat, dark green sheets. They cost about $10 for enough to last a month. Here's what you do. Take a piece about 4 inches long. Put it in a pot with 4 cups of cold water. Let it sit for 30 minutes. Then heat it slowly. Don't boil it. When you see the first tiny bubbles forming, remove the kombu. That's your dashi. The liquid should smell like the ocean, but not strongly. If it's too intense, you used too much kombu or heated it too fast. Start with less next time. Use this dashi anywhere you'd use broth or stock. In soup, when cooking rice, when steaming vegetables. The monks use it for everything. Start with this 3 times a week, just replacing regular water or store broth with kombu dashi. Your stomach needs time to adjust to the new compounds. Within 7 days, most people notice something subtle. The morning stiffness in their hands feels less intense. It's not dramatic, it's gentle, but it's consistent. The biggest mistake people make with kombu? They try to eat it directly, or they boil it hard. The monks never do this. The gentle extraction preserves the fucoidan while making it digestible. If you have thyroid issues, talk to your doctor first. Kombu is high in iodine. The amount in dashi is much less than eating the seaweed directly, but be cautious. Now here's where this gets interesting. That's just the first food. The monks don't stop there. And around minute 8, I'll show you why the timing of when you add the second food matters more than you think. But first, let's talk about what this does to your cartilage. Cartilage is the cushion between your bones. When it breaks down, you get bone-on-bone contact. That's the grinding pain people describe. The Western medical approach tries to supplement with glucosamine and chondroitin. Sometimes it helps, often it doesn't. The Obaku monks take a different path. They don't try to rebuild cartilage directly. They reduce the inflammatory environment that's destroying it in the first place. Less inflammation means your body's natural repair processes can actually work. The second food takes this further. It addresses inflammation from a completely different angle. And this is where the story gets remarkable. This food didn't exist anywhere in the world before the Obaku monks created it. They call it Goma-dofu. In English, Sesame Tofu. But it's not tofu. There's no soybeans in it at all. It's pure sesame paste, water, and kuzu starch. That's it. 3 ingredients. The monks created this in the 1600s as a way to concentrate the medicinal properties of sesame while making it smooth enough to eat easily. Here's why this matters for your joints. Sesame contains something called sesamol and sesamolin, compounds that convert in your body to sesamol. The Arthritis Foundation notes that sesame compounds can help reduce joint pain in people with knee osteoarthritis by protecting cartilage. But there's something else. The kuzu starch that gives Goma-dofu its silky texture? That's not filler. Kuzu has documented anti-inflammatory properties in traditional Chinese medicine. The monks weren't just making something that tasted good. They were making medicine disguised as food. Modern research backs this up. Studies show sesamolin activates vitamin E, extending its antioxidant effects in your body. It also helps regulate the inflammatory response at a cellular level, working alongside the fucoidan from kombu, but through a different pathway. This is the genius of the Obaku system. The foods work together. Kombu handles systemic inflammation. Goma-dofu protects the cartilage itself. They complement each other. You can buy Goma-dofu at Japanese grocery stores, or you can make it at home with tahini and kuzu powder. The monks serve it cold, with a touch of wasabi and a light soy-based sauce. Now we're at Tier 2. You've been using Kombu Dashi for 2 weeks. Your body has adjusted. Time to add Goma-dofu. Start with 3 times a week. Have it as a side dish with dinner. A small portion, about the size of your palm. The texture is smooth, almost like panna cotta. If you're not used to sesame, it might taste intense at first. That's normal. Combine this with your Kombu Dashi. Use the dashi in your soup or rice. Have the Goma-dofu on the side. The monks don't separate these foods. They eat them together, at the same meal, multiple times a day. Within 30 days of this combination, people report more than just reduced morning stiffness. They notice better range of motion. Stairs feel easier. Getting up from chairs requires less effort. Here's a simple test. Stand next to a wall for balance. Lift one knee toward your chest as high as comfortable. Don't force it. Just notice how high it goes and whether you feel tightness or pain. Remember that number, because after 30 days of kombu and Goma-dofu, most people can lift their knee noticeably higher. The inflammation has decreased enough that the joint moves more freely. The mistake people make here? They rush. They try to eat these foods every single day immediately. The monks didn't build this diet overnight. They let their bodies adapt gradually. 3 times a week becomes 4. 4 becomes 5. By month 2, it's natural. Now, remember that question from the beginning? Why did it take Western doctors 370 years to understand what these monks knew? Here's the answer. Western medicine looks for single compounds to isolate and patent. One pill, one mechanism, one treatment. The monks never thought that way. They understood that real healing comes from whole foods working together over time. This isn't slower, it's smarter. The fucoidan and sesamolin aren't competing. They're collaborating. Your body recognizes them as food, not foreign chemicals. The absorption is better. The side effects are non-existent. But we're not done. There's a third food. And this one changes everything about how you build the strength to support your joints. We're about 8 minutes in. You've seen kombu for inflammation. You've seen Goma-dofu for cartilage protection. Now comes the structural element. The monks in their 70s and 80s don't just move without pain. They move with strength. Their muscles support their joints. They don't shuffle. They walk with purpose. The third food is Yuba. In English, tofu skin. When you heat soy milk slowly in a shallow pan, a protein-rich film forms on the surface. That's Yuba. This is pure plant protein. It contains all 9 essential amino acids. When combined with resistance movement, soy protein supports muscle growth and strength just as effectively as animal protein. This is documented in the journal Nutrients. But here's what makes Yuba special for aging joints. It contains isoflavones. These are plant compounds that, in Asian populations specifically, have shown remarkable effects on bone health. A review in Therapeutic Advances in Musculoskeletal Disease examined multiple studies of Japanese and Chinese women. The women with the highest soy intake had 37% lower fracture risk than those with the lowest intake. The isoflavones support bone density, particularly in postmenopausal women. Strong bones mean stable joints. Stable joints mean less pain. The monks understood this connection centuries before we had the research to prove it. Now here's where we pull this all together. We're at Tier 3, the complete Obaku system. You've been using Kombu Dashi for several weeks. Your inflammation markers are down. You've added Goma-dofu 3 to 4 times a week. Your cartilage is protected. Now we add Yuba. Buy dried Yuba from any Asian market. Soak it in warm water for 30 minutes. Add it to your soup made with Kombu Dashi, or serve it in a light salad. The monks often add it to the same dishes that contain Goma-dofu. Now your meals look like this. Kombu Dashi forms the liquid base. Goma-dofu provides the creamy, protein-rich side. Yuba adds structure and complete amino acids. All 3, several times a week. The total time investment? About 3 minutes to prepare Kombu Dashi. Less than 5 minutes total if you're buying Goma-dofu ready-made and using pre-soaked Yuba. The monks don't spend hours cooking. This is simple food. Let me give you the realistic timeline. First week, you notice less morning stiffness in your hands and feet. First month, improved range of motion in larger joints like knees and hips. 3 months, consistent reduction in pain levels and better stability. This isn't fast, but it's permanent. You're not managing symptoms. You're changing the inflammatory environment in your body. Now, some of you are thinking about safety. Let me address that directly. If you have a soy allergy, skip the Yuba and Goma-dofu. Focus on the Kombu. You'll still see benefits. If you have thyroid medication, consult your doctor about iodine intake from Kombu. The amount in dashi is low, but be cautious. For everyone else, these are regular foods. Not supplements, not medications. Just food that happens to be remarkably good at reducing inflammation. Remember the second question from earlier? The one ingredient that changes everything about inflammation? Here it is. It's not one ingredient. It's the combination. The monks never separated these foods because they understood something we're only now proving. Whole food combinations create effects you cannot get from isolated compounds. Fucoidan works on inflammatory cytokines. Sesamolin protects cartilage. Isoflavones support bone density. Together, they create an anti-inflammatory environment your body can maintain indefinitely. This is why the monks at Mampukuji Temple can still get up from the floor at 78. Not because of genetics, not because of one miracle food, because they've been creating the right internal environment for 370 years. And now for that final revelation, the one that ties everything together. The Western world spends $304 billion annually on arthritis treatment. That's just in the United States. Supplements, physical therapy, pain medication, surgery. The average person with moderate arthritis spends $2,000 to $5,000 per year managing pain. The three foods we just discussed? Monthly cost, about $20 to $30. The Kombu lasts weeks. Goma-dofu is inexpensive. Yuba is one of the cheapest protein sources available. This isn't about money, though. It's about approach. The Western system treats arthritis as something to manage. Take this pill. Do this exercise. Come back when it gets worse. The Obaku monks treat it as something to prevent by changing what you eat every single day. The research shows this works. Asian communities maintaining traditional diets high in seaweed and soy show arthritis rates almost half that of Western populations. The difference isn't genetics, it's diet. That's documented by the CDC. Here's what makes this sustainable. These aren't foods you choke down because they're good for you. Kombu Dashi is the foundation of Japanese cooking for a reason. It's delicious. Goma-dofu is considered a delicacy. Yuba is prized in Kyoto as one of the finest foods you can eat. You're not suffering through a restrictive diet. You're learning a different way to cook. One that happens to keep your joints healthy for decades longer than the standard American diet. The monks at Manpukuji don't think about their joints. They just move. That's the goal here. Not to become obsessed with managing pain, but to reduce inflammation so much that your joints simply stop being a daily concern. Let me give you your action steps. Right now, today, write down these three foods. Kombu, Goma-dofu, Yuba. Tomorrow, find the nearest Asian grocery store or open Amazon. Order dried kombu first. That's your foundation. This week, make your first batch of Kombu Dashi. Use it in place of water or store broth 3 times. Just 3 times. Notice how you feel after 7 days. Most people notice subtle changes. Less grinding in the knees. Easier to make a fist in the morning. Next week, add Goma-dofu if you've tolerated the kombu well. Twice that week. Then 3 times the following week. Let your body adjust. This isn't a race. By week 4, you're ready for Yuba. Start with once a week. Build to 3 times. Now you have the complete system. All 3 foods rotating through your meals naturally. One gentle warning. Don't expect overnight transformation. The monks have been eating this way since 1654. You're not going to reverse years of inflammation in 2 weeks. But you will notice progressive improvement. Every week slightly better than the last. That's what sustainable healing looks like. Not dramatic, not fast, but steady, reliable, and permanent. If you want more practices like this, real Japanese longevity wisdom backed by research, subscribe to The Zen Way. Every week I show you what's actually working in Japan, not the mystical nonsense, just the practical, proven methods. Drop a comment and tell me, have you tried any of these 3 foods before? I'm curious if anyone's already discovered this accidentally. And if this helped you understand your joint pain differently, share it with someone who needs this. There are 53 million Americans struggling with arthritis. Most of them have never heard of Fucha Ryori or the Obaku monks. You could change that for someone today. Remember that 78-year-old monk getting up from the floor? That's not magic. That's 370 years of wisdom condensed into 3 simple foods. Foods you can start eating this week. Your joints don't have to hurt forever. The inflammation isn't permanent. You just need to change the environment it's living in. Start with Kombu Dashi tomorrow. See how you feel in 7 days. Then come back and tell me what changed.